Testing, testing. 1, 2, 3. Thought this was going to be a good testing session, but I've been attacked already.
Because I moved like for 2 seconds.
Stand freak still. It picks up everything on the mic.
Okay.
I just want a good testing session for once on this podcast.
It's not going to happen.
Where's your test? The mic.
Testing.
Finally. Jeez. Here we go. Hey, welcome to On the Up and Up with Patrick and
Talisha.
And today's episode is all about gender roles in your marriage. What problems can it cause? How to be a submissive wife. And
it is not about how to be a submissive wife.
Oh, yes, we're going to learn how to be a submissive wife today.
No, it is not.
That and much more. But before we get started, guys, I just want to say, wow, like last week's episode was like, wow, thank you guys for tuning in to last week's episode. We had so much feedback, a lot of feedback. Mm-hmm. We were just so scared to put that episode out with all that vulnerability and all that emotion. But guys, like the response was there. Y'all was nosy though. We think y'all just wanted to be nosy and see what my entanglement was. Y'all just nosy out there. That's all that was. Well, yeah, but thank you for listening and tuning into the episode. That was by far our most downloaded and listened to episode, and we appreciate you guys' support out there. And with that being said, we have a lot of shout outs and we have a lot of reviews. So we are about to do our shout outs. So like our shout outs are for people who interacted with our social media, people who emailed us, and people who like sent us text too. Like we got a lot of feedback and great support for that because there was a lot of people out there who could relate to what we were actually going through. So
yeah, so thank y'all again. Thanks so much for listening. So my shout outs are Jasmine, Samantha, Latifa, Terrence, Keita, Essence, Brittany, Deshawn, and April.
And for me, I have Bird, Matina, Family Man 06, Sir Don 2, E-Man, Woo Baby, Trophy Wife 915, Keita, Forever Marriages, Ignorance Equals Bliss, Jarrell, Austin, Davita, Jahan Myra, and Mrs. Mommy Esquire. Thank you guys for interacting with our social media. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at I am Pat Ratliff. You can follow Talisha at
The Farm D Mommy.
And hit up our official Instagram page at Patrick and Talisha. Now we got 4 reviews sent in this week. Thank you guys for submitting those reviews and rating us 5 stars. You rate us 5 stars, we will review it. If you rate us anything lower than 5 stars, we ain't reading a daggum thing. I don't care how good it is. So 5 stars. If you write something bad, we'll still read it. So for our first one this week, is coming in from Sir Don 2. Says, dope. I look forward to the opening mic testing. Laugh out loud. It's great to see y'all's marriage grow and y'all helping other marriages on the way. I love it. Thank you, Sir Don. Matter of fact, Sir Don is the one responsible for our podcast cover art. You can follow him on Instagram at d.r.designing.
And our next review is from Crusha116. Episode 7 was a great episode. Continued prayers to you, Patrick. I don't know what it's like to lose a mother, but I know it's got to be one of the hardest things to go through, especially if y'all are really close. I gotta say, the entanglement episode opened my eyes a lot. Dealing with issues in a marriage can be trying, but to see how y'all dealt with your issues and talked them out no matter how many days it took was really inspiring. Thank you for setting the tone for married couples and letting y'all's experience guide other couples to the promised land. We appreciate you both. Thank you, Crusha. That is my brother-in-law from Double A Shenanigans.
Go check out Double A Shenanigans. Drops every Saturday. Our next review comes from Kimmy in DC. She says, 5-star quality. My USC peeps, that is South Carolina, not Southern California. We are the real USC. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love the brutal honesty and lesson learned. Thank you for painting an honest picture of marriage. Just listen to episode 7 and oh my God. This podcast is a perfect mixture of goofy, serious, honest, country, and informational. I'm definitely dropping this one in group chat for recommended listens. Keep it up, Pat and Talisha. Proud of my fellow Gamecocks. Shout out to Dr. Hallums, I believe, for representing us, our USC friend. Like, shout out to our Gamecocks out there, and thank God this football season is canceled because we ain't losing to Clemson this year, baby.
Go Cogs. Thanks, Kim. All right, so our next one is from Sam J. Rousey. Authentic and genuine. I love that Patrick and Talisha are so relatable and explore real life scenarios. Thank you, bestie.
So we got in 4 reviews just based off last week's episode. So if y'all haven't checked out episode 7 titled Patrick's Entanglement, go listen to that one right now because it was very vulnerable. It was very intimate. That's the one we got the most feedback from. We poured our souls into that one, even though we didn't want to do it. But if that's what it is going to take to go out there and help people stop fighting. Well, not stop fighting. We don't want to say stop fighting because we have this philosophy. All couples fight, successful couples repair. And you want to repair the relationship quickly so you can get to blowing that back out as soon as possible.
What?
Because that's what you do after you have a fight. That's the whole point. You got to glue the relationship back together after you done tore it apart.
Did you really just say that?
That is God's work. He created it for the marriage. And that's what you have to do. When you're not doing it, you're dishonoring the marriage as far as I'm concerned.
Oh. Okay.
So repair those fights.
So repair so you can do it.
As quickly as possible.
Yep.
So you can get back to doing what you need to be doing. So let's get into these gender roles. Like, how do gender roles impact your marriage? Back then versus now. So back then, back in the day, divorce was taboo and you just couldn't be like, well, I don't like my marriage anymore. This sucks and I'm out of there. Because if you were like a woman and you didn't have a man, something was wrong with you back then, right?
Right.
And so it was just socially unacceptable. So couples stayed married regardless if they should or not. So that definitely led to a great deal of silent suffering back then for those people who were like living in an unhappy marriage. But you had to stay in there regardless of like marriage sucked or not.
Well, even if it wasn't just like, oh, the marriage sucks. Even if there was like infidelity, the woman was expected to stay. Like, oh yeah, he got a baby on me, but
2 families.
But it's okay.
I had 2 families back then.
Yeah, like, ooh, thank God I didn't live back then.
Back then, the scales were heavily tipped to the men's favor.
Yep. It's like, oh, well, he's providing for your family, so you just stay right there. Nobody else is going to want you, especially if you got kids already. Nobody else is going to want you.
Oh, you're super damaged goods.
Yeah.
Super damaged goods if you had kids back then. Still like that in some countries.
That's true.
But, so yeah, men, they made the rules, got to have all the opinions and all the decisions. But the thing is, it seemed like both men and women accepted that arrangement.
Yeah, I think that it was an acceptance on both parts for that type of setup back then.
Do you think the women were happy back then?
I don't think they were happy. I think they were suppressed. I think they were suppressed in so many different ways. And so that's what they saw growing up. So they thought that was what was right. I don't think they were happy.
Yeah. But do you think there were fewer reasons to argue because women knew their place? And I'm putting up air quotes.
were there fewer reasons to argue?
Because if you didn't have anything to say, then you couldn't argue, could
But
you?
see, that's the thing. I think that there were probably arguments going down behind the scenes, but they would never, ever let anyone know it. Like they would never say it in front of somebody or anything like that. Like, I do think that the women probably did argue some with their spouses back then, but it was, like, very taboo. So it was just like, okay, I'm going to jump back a little bit, but not too much, not enough for him to, like, kick me out or anything. I don't think they still argued. I don't think it was just like, oh, go about my business because I can't say anything. I don't think it was like that.
Okay.
You do?
I don't know. I just think that it could be possible, just because if you feel like you don't have any opinion and your husband's word was the last word or the only word, then what you gonna argue for? You just sit there, did your job, and boom. Not saying, because arguments, we have a philosophy, arguments aren't bad.
Right. But I also think that back then that there was probably more domestic violence that was occurring.
Yeah, you could lay hands on your woman when they talk back in that sass. Kind of like punish him like a child. They were treated more like a child as opposed to a spouse.
Right. So I think that women probably did argue, but they might have got hit.
Yeah.
So then maybe the next time they might not have argued as much. Or, I mean, they might have just been going in every time they got an argument. I don't know. I guess in my head, it was just a lot more domestic violence out there.
I'm a huge Soprano fan, and I just remember one episode where Chris Moltisanti, he would hit his girlfriend, and her uncle was like, don't you ever put your hands on my niece again until you give her your last name. You give her your last name, you can do whatever you want.
Oh, wow.
So that was like that culture, yeah.
Yeah.
It's like you can't hit them until she has your last name.
See?
That's crazy, yeah.
Yeah. See, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I like that show, but yeah.
But today, thankfully, the roles the world is different, okay? Women have more equality and couples, but still, couples, they still fall into like two camps. There's the traditional, with the man being the breadwinner.
Nope.
I gotta take that out.
Take that out. The men are the what?
The men are the breadwinner.
Oh, okay.
And women being the homemakers. And then you have the other camp is men or women are equal and share the responsibilities. So we fall into the latter category. Okay, speak. We fall into the latter category where we share the responsibilities. I need you to stop laughing at me, please.
Get your words out.
I got them.
Okay,
so you talk.
So we fall into the latter category. So we definitely believe in more equal gender roles, like, and not just the man is the breadwinner. Like, no, I have a pharmacist job, so I am the breadwinner for our family. You make
all the bread.
I am the breadwinner for our family. I don't make all the bread.
Oh, yes, you do, and I love it.
Stop it. So, anyways, but I also, as the quote unquote breadwinner, like, I don't come in and be like, this is gonna be like this, and I make the money, so I make the rules. Like, I don't have that attitude.
Yeah, you do.
I do not. Freaking liar. I do not. So, like we had told you on an episode before, like, I remember being a pharmacy student and not making any money, and Patrick made all the money. But even in that scenario, Patrick didn't come in like, I'm the macho man. I make all the money. I make all the decisions. No, it's just a partnership. And like we told you before, we have a joint bank account. So we discuss big purchases. We don't just go out there and just buy stuff. So we don't look at, oh, this person has more power, more control because they bring in more money.
That's interesting. Like, that our dynamic is like more equal, but you didn't grow up in that kind of environment. How did you grow up?
Oh, so my mom was a stay-at-home mom, and my dad was in the military. And so, my mom didn't bring home any money. But, but my mom still got to spend money. What do you mean? I didn't grow up in that environment.
You grew up in a traditional environment.
Yeah, in traditional, my dad was the breadwinner. But it was still not... It wasn't like old school traditional where she better shut up and know her role. It wasn't like that. She still spent money. Like she got, they had a joint bank account as well.
Mm-hmm.
And she spent money when she wanted to spend money. But then whenever we got older, like she went and worked at a daycare with us. Then she went to school. She went and became a substitute teacher.
Mm-hmm.
So... she still, but see, with her, and even now, like, with her money, it's like, this is my money, I get to play with it type of thing. It doesn't go to contribute towards, like, bills and stuff.
Mm-hmm. And so what about, like...
And then what about you?
I was about to get more deeper into yours and talk about the chores and stuff. But yeah, I grew up in it was a 50-50. Both my parents worked. So I saw my dad, like, have to do chores around the house, like in the house and outside the house, because my mom well, I think my mom made more than my dad, but she worked more because she was like principal and stuff, so her hours were crazy. If you've ever any principals out there, you understand that you're working all the time. So my mom was working all the time, and then she had extracurricular activities. So, but she still she cooked the dinner and did everything else. So it was like, but if I don't get to this chore, you need to get to it, or else the house is gonna fall apart. Yeah. It's not just one person handling everything. And then you had kids to do chores, because that's why you have kids, so that you can get chores done around the house.
And that's funny because, like, my mom, she don't want you to do her chores. She wants to do her own chores. She wants to keep her kitchen the way she wants to keep her kitchen. Anybody who knows my mama out there knows my mama is OCD. Like, to this day, I'm not about to go in there and try to clean Sharon's kitchen. No, ma'am. That is on her. And my daddy, don't you come in there trying to be Chef AP, messing up her kitchen. Nope. She don't like that. So my mom cleaned everything. I didn't know how to do laundry until I went to college. Yep. I said it. I did not know how to do laundry until I went to college. So, yeah, that was definitely a difference between how we were raised versus how you were raised. I didn't really do chores. I cleaned my room.
So how'd you learn how to do laundry?
I called my mom on the phone and, Mama, what color do reds go with? And, okay, what about gray? Yeah, Michaela and I, neither one of us knew how to do laundry until we went to college. And it was a definitely a big deal, because we first got there, the first time we were going to try to do laundry, we didn't have any laundry detergent. So we were like, oh, I thought you were going to get it. No, girl, I thought you were going to get it. Okay, we'll try this again. Second attempt. We ain't got no doggone Carolina cash. Oh, still can't do our laundry. Meanwhile, we getting all these dirty clothes. So we finally get it right. All the stars aligned. And then we were like, well, how you separate these clothes? I don't know what gray goes with or red. And so it was just really funny. But we did it okay. I think we only ruined like maybe one batch of clothes. The whites, and something snuck in there, like a piece of color clothes stuck in with the whites.
Yeah, and do you stick ties in the dryer?
Oh, we gonna go there?
Do you stick ties in the dryer?
Again, I didn't wash clothes till I went to college. So whenever you got an apartment, well, no, you didn't even have an apartment yet. We were just going to Shannon's, right?
Nah, this is the apartment.
Okay, so whenever Patrick got in his apartment, I was like, heck yeah, I can come in here. I can pretend like I know how to cook. I can pretend like I can wash these clothes and help him out because he's at work. So he had some ties on the floor. I was like, throw all of them in there. I separated them appropriately and with the right colors. Throw them ties in the washing machine, put them in the dryer. And then they come out and it's like, what happened to my ties? I was like, what you mean? You just got to iron them.
No, tie was completely ruined, and you were fired from doing my laundry that same day you was hired. And
you remember the little those little plastic things that go in the...
Yeah, and the collars, the things that go in the collars. Yeah, you just throwing them away.
I was like, okay, so he opened up all these new freaking shirts and left all these little plastic pieces on the counter. What? How freaking trashy is that? So I gathered all of them up and threw them away. And he's like, what happened to those little plastic things? I was like, they're in the trash. I cleaned up. He's like, no, those go in the collar. And I was like, oh, my bad.
So I ain't had none in my shirt. My collar in my shirt looking all flabby and stuff. I was like, oh my goodness.
Yeah, my bad.
I mean, that's just how.
That's how I was. I didn't have to do any of that stuff. I didn't have to do any of that stuff. So if I would have married somebody who had all these expectations of what a wife should know how to do whenever they become into a marriage, then that would have been like, nah, not what I signed up for.
Yeah, and that's where the problem can come in, where you have someone focused on like, hey, I grew up traditional, like a man, where he sees his mom doing all this work, doing like everything for him, versus a woman who comes in who saw it, her dad actually doing stuff around the house. And so that guy thinks he's not supposed to do anything. And the wife is thinking like, you ain't getting on these dishes. Or you need to help me on these dishes. Get up from the couch watching TV and help me with these dishes. Hey, that bathroom needs to be clean. And he's like, are you kidding me? You're supposed to do everything around the house.
Yeah. And even though my daddy didn't do any like inside the house work, but he's really tidy, so he doesn't like go around making a bunch of messes either. But he did all the outside work. So whenever we got married, I was like, I'm not doing anything outside. I don't like to be outside.
Yeah, you don't do not one thing.
I don't like to be outside. That's not my. That ain't my jam.
Yeah. So my mommy, for as far as like outside work, if she wanted some plants or something, she'd go out there and plant them themselves. My dad be like, I ain't about to plant them. That ain't part of the regular routine. She's like, all right, I'm going out there planting them myself. And you just gonna have to figure out how it's gonna work in the yard. My mom be out there. All right, yeah, these plants are here now. Don't run over them with the lawnmower. So that's when my mom would go out there. She was like, I gotta do it myself. But we had a dog who would like dig up all the plants anyway, so it's like it was futile.
Yeah, I would love to have a garden.
I know.
Davita, next year, dog, I'm having my garden.
And I hate yard work, but I'll do the simple things like cut the grass and like make the yard look nice. But all the extracurricular stuff, I ain't staying out there too long.
No, we're gonna get some rocks in our yard soon.
I know.
Yeah. So instead of like a garden, I think that we got some cement put around with the little curbing and stuff, and we're gonna put rocks in there because I don't really want to maintain it. So, and Patty don't want to maintain it.
No, I'm not maintaining. I hate yard maintenance. It's not.
Yeah, we need an easy button for that.
Yeah, we need the easy button, man. So other problems that happen in the marriage. Oh, okay. So gender roles, man. So what about last names? Like I was adamant about no dash last names.
Like a hyphenated last name?
Yeah, hyphenate. I said no dash. No, I was like, ain't no hyphen, buddy. You either take it.
Yeah. Because initially I had said, oh, well, maybe I'll be Payne Ratliff.
No, you ain't.
And so then, but I was like, okay, so I don't have any brothers. And as far as like the Payne side, like I have some male cousins. So the name will be continued. But I was just like, but for my immediate family, like I've been Talisha Payne this whole time. And whenever we got married, it was in my last year of pharmacy school. And so I was like, well, I love y'all Ratliffs, but I ain't about to walk across the stage and it just be Talisha Ratliff. I was like, oh no, Payne gonna be in there somewhere because I've been Talisha Payne this whole time. I got ripped from my family. So I dropped my middle name. So I'm Talisha Payne Ratliff, no dash.
Yeah, no hyphen, man. Y'all in.
Yeah.
So that was, but I've seen people out there like, I'm getting the dash. And like, did that create an argument? Or dudes will be like, she don't even want to take your name fully. How you feel about that?
I think that most of the time, I don't know a ton of people who have the hyphen, but I think the people that I do know who have the hyphen is because they didn't have any brothers and they want their last name to continue.
But it ain't your last name no more. It's the last name. The last name.
Okay, then why shouldn't men take the female's last name then?
Because them ain't the rules.
Oh, it's the last name.
Them ain't the rules.
Don't matter. It's just the last name.
You know what? We'll get to that part later down in the show because I cannot wait to discuss a dude who would take the woman's last name. Buddy, I can't wait. Unless you Oprah, I don't even know what Oprah's last name is.
Winfrey.
Oh.
Really?
Like, buddy, when you're that famous, you only need one name.
Okay. Anyways, but then for me, like, I was like, okay, well, maybe I can bring my middle name back in if we were to have a girl. Like, maybe I could bring my middle name back in.
No.
So that was my initial thought.
Yeah. Men usually get the pout. Well, you try to take all our kids' first names. So at least I think that's how it works. All right. I'm going to take your last name, but I'm getting to name all the children. Because that's basically what you did. Okay.
We did have some talks about the names of our children, and you did not even want to talk about it, honestly. Remember with Weston, you didn't even want to talk about the names. Because, but first we had a name that we knew like from teenage years, and then our friends got pregnant before us, and so, hey, Calvin and Maria. Y'all got the name Landon, and we're like, well, we're close enough friends to where like we can't have a Landon and they got a Landon.
Yeah.
So we gotta have a new name. And so it was hard. It was really hard because that was like a name we were attached to. Mm-hmm. So it was hard coming up with one. But Weston is Weston Patrick Ratliff. And Patrick's real name is William. So he's William Patrick Ratliff. So we got the WPR.
Yeah.
So, again, you got that. WPR. He has your same initials. And then Rowan was the name that I really wanted for Weston.
I hated that name.
And Patrick hated it. It sounds like row, row, row your boat. And so he was like, no. So, like Steve Urkel, I'm wearing you down, baby. So I kept on coming with that name. And when I was pregnant with Rowan, he finally liked the name. And so he's Rowan James. And I think that I got you to be like, okay, because I said, we can call him RJ. Yeah. We ain't calling that boy RJ. Nope, Rowan.
Yeah, you suck at me on all the names. So I haven't named any of my children.
Oh, my goodness. I have
except the last name. So that's the blowback. It was like, all right. Like if she comes and says, well, they're going to have your last name no matter what. Can I at least name the kids? They can pretty much get you on that one.
Yeah. So. And not to mention that we have to be pregnant for 9 months. Really closer to 10.
Oh, whatever.
Yeah, just saying.
That's your role. It's called gender roles.
Yeah, I got to get them stretchies.
Trust me, if I could have a baby, I wouldn't.
Yeah, exactly. I'm about to say, what?
I don't want none of those problems. I couldn't handle it.
Yep.
So, going back to like a traditional marriage and like the wife does all the chores and does everything, do you think that person gets like burned out?
It depends on if they like to do chores or not. Me personally, I don't really like to do chores that much. I like the end result of chores. I like to have a clean house, but it's not like, oh, I'm cleaning, I'm having so much fun. No, I don't really enjoy it necessarily. So if it's someone who really likes to do chores, then yeah, I think that they're probably fine. But if it's someone who is like, man, I'm over here holding this baby and trying to wash these dishes and you're sitting on the couch, they're probably not enjoying it.
Yeah, they haven't accepted the role. That I guess they haven't had a conversation. Have we ever been like that?
What?
Like, have I never not? I started pitching in a lot more. Oh yeah, remember, like we had it at the beginning, like, all right, you do the dishes, you gonna handle the dishes. But sometimes you would fall behind on the dishes, and then when you saw me doing the dishes, you would be like, oh no, I'm not doing my job.
Yeah.
And you get mad at me for doing the job.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm trying to help. But sometimes I'll be doing it because I'm like, God darn, she ain't washed the dishes in about 2 days. What the freak?
Because it was definitely like passive aggressive.
It was aggressive dishwashing. Like, oh my gosh, still dishes in the sink.
Yeah. And whenever that happened, was that whenever I was working the early hours? And I was like taking a nap or something?
I don't know, but them dishes weren't washed, buddy. So I had to go in there and wash them. Because you be stressed about the dishes. I'm like, oh gosh. You got this. Yeah. Talk about that issue.
Okay. I freaking hate having stuff dirty. It makes me feel anxious. I hate coming in and it's a freaking mess. Bed ain't made up. The dishes are overflowing. Like, the carpet's dirty. The pillows aren't in place on the couch. Like, it stresses me out to the max. It gives me so much freaking anxiety. So of course, I mean, like I said, I do it, but then at the same time, I feel like I'm sleepy though. So I'm about to take this nap. And then I get up re-energized and ready to like conquer the world when it comes to cleaning.
3 hours, 4 hours later.
And at that point, Patrick's like, I don't want to clean. I want to help. And then I'm sitting there and I'm freaking scowling at him like, looking like, why are you sitting there not helping me?
I'm going to sit there and watch you sleep.
Right.
Yeah, I used to just get mad. I'm like, oh my gosh, the dishes aren't done. So I just have to go in there and actually do the dishes. But I'd be mad doing them. Because I was like, how'd you let it get here? Why would we let it get to this point? If this is your job, if y'all going to assign roles in the marriage, God darn it, do your freaking side of the job that you're supposed to do.
But then sometimes other things come up.
Like a nap?
No. I mean, yeah, a nap for sure. But okay, in that part of our marriage, you were working outside of the home too.
Yeah.
So I was working, you were working.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, okay, so you only got to cut the grass every 2 weeks? But I'm supposed to maintain all this stuff by myself every day? Yeah, you work and I work. So we both work in this house.
But your job, with the job description, it wasn't in my job description.
No.
It wasn't in my job description.
And so then we had to change job descriptions because, honey, you need more duties.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's why we were like, okay,
yeah, we had to make an adjustment.
Right, because it wasn't fair for, okay, I'll handle, because that's how we kind of set it up. I'll handle this stuff inside the house. Mm-hmm. You handle the stuff outside the house. And then I'm like, wait a minute, run that back. Because that's too much.
I take trash out.
Sometimes I used to have to let you know the trash is full.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, it's full.
Mm-hmm.
Can you take that out?
Yeah, I did that.
Yeah, you didn't want me to ask you to do it.
And then with the laundry folding, I have to fold. Look here, I have to fold more clothes than I'm supposed to fold.
Elaborate, please.
Sometimes there's a lag in the folding, and the baskets are being taken up for weeks at a time. I'm like, how many more baskets do we need to buy? Because I'm like, I go wash my clothes. I was like, ain't no baskets available.
Okay, so let's talk about that. So in the beginning, I used to try to wash all of our clothes, right?
Until you got fired.
No,
because you got fired.
I got fired a long time ago.
I'll just do it myself.
No. I'm talking about when we got married. When we got married, I used to wash both of our clothes, right? Yeah. And then oh my gosh, you go through so many clothes. You got to have an outfit for the gym. Then you put on your work outfit. Then you come home and put on your lounging outfit. And I'm like, oh my gosh, this is too much. So then we decided, this was before we had kids, we decided I'll wash my clothes and you wash your clothes. Mm-hmm. And because I like my clothes folded a certain way and you don't really care. So I'm like, okay, you do yours and I'll do mine. And then as we had kids, like I do the boys' clothes, but then recently you've started helping me more with their clothes because Weston.
It's just too much. It's just too much. It's way too many. When you get kids, like the amount of clothes, especially like with potty training and stuff, you're going through like 3 outfits a day. And we still to this day don't have a system to keep our socks organized.
The boys' socks.
My socks are a mess. Your socks are everywhere.
My socks are not everywhere. I have a system for my socks.
Did I not just earlier this week go look at your laundry and stuff and be like, I'm overwhelmed. This is ridiculous. I tried to go in there and help, and I was like, there's everything everywhere. You're a hoarder.
I'm not a hoarder.
You're a hoarder. I was like, there's
Okay,
so many clothes.
but there are so many clothes. And right now, the reason why you saw all of the clothes is because I have to have certain types of clothes. So whenever I was pregnant, I had all my maternity clothes. And so I'm trying to like reorganize everything so that I can keep those clothes. So I got my maternity clothes. I have my pre-pregnancy clothes. I have my in-between, like, can't really wear maternity clothes, can't really wear my old clothes. And losing weight, I'm having to kind of reassess where I'm at with these clothes because I'm not about to get rid of all of them because we want to have another child. So I'm not going to keep buying clothes for all these in-between stages. So that's kind of where you landed whenever you came in there and tried to help me.
See, all that.
Well, I mean,
all
if I
that.
get rid of it, then I have to buy whole new wardrobes every time I'm going through different sizes.
Can't keep it simple, man.
Once we have our third kid, then we'll be able to get rid of maternity clothes. We'll be able to get rid of the in-between clothes, all that jazz. And it'll be a lot simpler.
So, basically, what about the breadwinner being controlling? Now, we discussed that you're not controlling or I was controlling, but are there certain marriages where that breadwinner feels like they have all the power, and do they treat their spouse badly according to that?
Yeah, I mean, I think that probably could happen. Like, people feel like, oh, well, I bring the money, so I can make all the rules. And maybe in that situation, they might give an allowance or something.
Yeah.
Like, first of all, that would just not go over well with me because you're going to give me an allowance. What? I am not a kid. I don't need an allowance.
Mm-hmm.
Like, for me, I couldn't do it. I don't even know if I can talk about it because I don't really know how I could wrap my mind around it.
Mm-hmm.
What are your thoughts on it?
No, I think it can definitely happen because, like, we do think like money is power, and like, oh, she can't go anywhere because I made the money. What's she gonna do?
So using it, yeah, to totally control
To
everything.
be all controlling, man, and it can happen in like their everyday language. It can be manipulating and stuff like that. Well, I got the money. You can't make any decisions without me or me knowing, or yeah. So
I can see that, and that would probably and see in that type of situation though. I feel like if they're controlling in that matter, like then they're probably controlling in other measures. Like that might be a toxic relationship.
Yeah.
Because if they're saying like, oh, well, what you gonna do? You can't do anything without me. I make the money. You don't have any money, so where you gonna go? Like I feel like they would probably be trying to manipulate for sure.
Yeah. So what about if you have, like, we have our assigned duties and one person is degrading towards the other person in their role? Like I said, like when the dishes wouldn't be done, like, God, do you ever do the dishes? Or dang, do you ever fold the laundry? Or dang, do you ever vacuum this floor? Mm-hmm. It's like, oh, it'd be like the husband and the wife is taking care of the kids. It's like, well, being a mom isn't a real job.
Yeah. Oh, I can see that. I can see that because first of all, that person clearly isn't there to know what's going on. And for any stay-at-home mom that's out there, oh my gosh, my hat goes off to you, because even just like having the role of stay-at-home mom for like maternity leave, I was like, oh my God. And this is like a baby that ain't moving, like not doing anything. Like, oh my gosh, it is so much. It is so overwhelming because you're just trying to take care of that kid, and the house doesn't necessarily get the same attention that you thought that it would get, because in my head, maternity leave, oh my goodness, I'm going to have everything spick and span, all organized. I have so much time in the day to do this stuff, and the kid's just going to sit over there and lay down. No. Baby's like, hold me. If you put me down, I'm crying. If you stand up, I'm crying. Sit down. Stand up. Like, it's just like so many different things. And then Patrick would come home and I'd be like, I didn't get anything done. And the house is so messy. And you're kind of just looking at me like, okay, I didn't think you would. I thought you were going to just take care of the kid. I'm like, but it's messy. So I think...
Yeah, you put pressure on yourself. Like,
Yep, I think that as women, we put a lot of pressure on ourselves. Whether you're on maternity leave, whether it's your full-time gig, like you're a stay-at-home mom, we put a lot of pressure on ourselves because I do think that it's a reflection of us whenever our house isn't clean. Like no visitor's gonna come in and say, oh, your house is dirty. Patrick, why is your house dirty? You should clean more. It's gonna be like, oh, your house is dirty. Talisha, why did you let your house get dirty?
No matter if you have a job or not, or you're the breadwinner.
No matter what, it is a reflection of the wife because society has made it that way. It is a reflection of the wife. And so, yeah, so that's probably why I obsess over, oh, is our house clean? And get anxious over our house not being dirty or house being dirty because it is a reflection of me, whether you're my teammate in this or not. And when people come over and they're like, oh, that ain't clean. It's, oh, Talisha, why ain't that clean?
Is it older people?
Older people, younger people? Yeah, I think it's both.
It'd be your own parents, your own mom be coming here. God darn, this house dirty. What you doing?
My mom, no, she won't say it.
She don't say it. She'll just clean up your own house.
She'll be like, God dang. Yeah, she'll start cleaning.
She can't stand. She'll go to your house and anybody's house and just start cleaning because she can't stand anything dirty. And her standard of clean,
oh my gosh,
is way above our standards of clean.
Way above. We be like, house clean. She come in.
When you have someone like sweeping the carpet,
yeah.
That's when you know you're dealing with a pro. That's a pro. It's levels to like carpet cleaning.
That's right.
And that's when you pro. Like you put the broom on the carpet, that's a pro right there.
Sweeping the carpet.
Oh, okay.
And then on the other hand, when our dads come over, they come over looking like Judgy McJudge. Talking about the rooms not being clean, talking about, oh, goodness gracious, it's toys everywhere. Well, I can't even hardly step. Da, 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 da. And then I'll be getting mad. Like, with my dad, I'll be like, we'll clean up. Or I'll be like, well, don't come over here then. You get what you get. Mm-hmm. With your dad, I can't say that.
Yeah, and that bothers you.
Yeah.
So I'm like, hey, come over here, don't say a freaking word. Please. Make my life hard. Gee, old people don't even know what they be doing to you. And one thing I used to do, and this was a great trick. So if your spouse isn't living up to standards, you'd be like, don't compare them to another woman or your own mom. Compare them to their own mom. Then they can't really get mad at you. I'm like, shoot, your mom is the bomb. Like, she would have this thing cleaned up already. Why ain't you more like your mama? That you can't get mad at me then.
Yeah, because that's a dig.
Can't get mad at it's your own mama.
No, okay.
Y'all grew up in the same house. You know what to do.
No. Let me tell you. The reason why I can't get mad is because I am no comparison to Pimp Clean. My mom's nickname is Pimp. I am no comparison to Pimp's Clean. So that don't hurt my feelings not one bit.
Exactly. So I can say it all. I want and not be mad. But if I was like, man, my mama always had the house clean. Well, go marry your mama then.
Exactly. Yeah, I'm glad you've never done that.
Yeah, I ain't never did that.
And then you definitely better not ever compare me to no other woman. I would lose it.
He's like, I went over these people's houses. His wife keeps his house very, very clean. Why don't you do that? And you might as well just
kill yourself.
Run out the door because you about to get something thrown at your head.
Right. Yeah, no. Don't ever do that.
That'd be like, so for me, I'm not a builder. I hate putting crap together. So we've had the floors redone. We've had the bathroom floors redone. I haven't done any of it. So Talisha's sister is like Bob the Builder, construction worker. And she came over and did all that stuff. I don't do cutting the floors. Like all the extracurricular tools like saws and all that other jazz, the cutting and all that stuff. When you have to take stuff completely apart, I don't do all that. So her dad, he got the ladder. He got the ladder that can reach the roof. because he used to be a roofer. He got all the tools. So I'm like, all right, get your daddy come over here and do it. And he has the patience to actually like do all that stuff. But Talisha never says, my daddy's a handyman or anything like that. That doesn't offend me either. I'm like, I don't give a darn. I don't give a crap.
But you also...
I will happily go out there and pay whatever exorbitant amount price it is. I don't have the patience to like do all that. Like I had to pick up a whole freaking toilet seat.
I was about to say,
heavy.
But then whenever my daddy comes over here, he's you help. And my dad didn't have boys, so he loves that. He loves that you want to help. He's like, well,
I don't know. He don't. I don't want to help. He just wants to sit there and walk. He wants to like make me. I have to do all like the heavy lifting and all the twisting and the screws and that laborious like stuff that's gonna break your back.
Yeah. Well, it's your house.
It's my house, but I'm like, but he'll sit there. He'll be patient with it. He'll be doing it. I don't let my dad do it because growing up, me and my dad, neither one of us have patience. So we were like, let's all bring my dad over here to do like projects because we both of us don't have the actual patience to deal with it.
Yeah.
So I was like, all right, just bring Mr. Payne over here. And like, all right, he'll do it. We'll be nice and calm.
Yeah, but I think there's a good balance because you did have it with your dad whenever you were growing up.
Yeah, we
like
did.
y'all did that.
Yeah.
And then like my dad didn't have that because me and Ariel were like, we ain't trying to do that, not as young kids.
Yeah.
And so like now he's like, oh,
he'll come over here all the time. Yeah, I don't feel
project. Come on, Patrick, let's do it.
I don't let that get to my ego or anything. I don't care. You're like, I need some shelves on the door. I'm like, all right. And see, the only shelf that I put up on the door is flimsy and floppy as crap in the laundry room.
Yeah.
That's a terrible shelf. I need to go do it, but I don't feel like doing it no more.
Yeah. But I like that you do get involved with those projects with my dad. And I love that Ariel is freaking HGTV guru.
Even though it's a hot freaking mess when y'all get over here.
Oh, yeah.
Y'all the worst.
We're going to talk that trash.
Y'all the worst. Y'all might as well. I don't know.
I mean, well, that's what happens whenever your little sister is your assistant. Just kidding, y'all. Ariel is definitely the brains behind all the remodel, all that crap. I am not her assistant. I am not her assistant. I am not her assistant.
You're the taskmaster. Oh, I said that wrong. Taskmaster.
Oh, wait, I'm the taskmaster in general or
all the time? Yeah, you like, go do this, go do that, go do this, go do that, go do this, go do that. And I hate tasks.
It's called delegation.
You don't do it.
Many hands make light work.
Before you sit down, can you do this?
Because if I don't
No, not before you sit down. After I've sitting down and got like settled in and stuff, you want me to go do something. And that, woo boy, that's my thing. And you're one of those people, I want you to want to do it.
Yeah.
And I'm the person who's like, I ain't doing it. I'll go do it, but I'm not going to do it happily.
And you want to just do one thing at a time. I'm like, okay, if you're going to the room over here and these two things need to go over here, then why don't you get those two things and take it over there?
One at a time, man. And
he's like, no, one thing at a time. I'm like, why?
I was like, don't tell me like you just gave me a list of 3 things. I'm doing one.
Exactly.
Don't tell me 3.
I need you to go to the garage to get something out of the car. And while you're in there, look to the left and grab this and bring it back in.
No, I like to take 2 trips. It's stupid, but that's just how I'm wired for some reason. Okay, so let's get into like, what other gender roles? So, what about like submission and wives talking submission?
I think that the word submission has a bad connotation.
Oh my goodness.
I mean, of course, we know that in the Bible it says that wives submit to their husbands. We know that. Mm-hmm. However, whenever it's brought up, a lot of times it is brought up very negatively. And it's like, oh, you should submit to me. Who do you think you are? And
that's why divorce is at 50%.
Oh, whatever.
Right now, that's why divorce is at 50% right now. Because wives, these women today.
Oh, no. When the Bible says that, the Bible is not talking about lay down and be a doormat. Lay down and just do whatever your husband says. Don't just take whatever he says and just take it as he's leading your family. No. husbands need somebody to ask good questions and ask clarifying questions and say, okay, so if we do this, then that means that this is going to happen. Is that the outcome that you want? Oh, okay, so we need to reevaluate it and do this. Yep.
Yeah.
Hello?
Yeah. Whatever.
Go ahead. Tell them about your little Instagram account.
Okay, so I found this Instagram account that I absolutely love, and it's been my favorite Instagram account, and it is called How to Be a Submissive Wife. So I was reading some of their quotes, and oh man, it's just good. So I'm going to read some of the submissive wife sayings. I'm going to see if Talisha agrees with them. Okay, so here's one. Sadly, society is attacking the authority of the man in the home, and family values are suffering because of this. Your children need a father who is in charge of the home and its values.
I agree with that.
Why?
Of course, your children need someone to look up to. We have boys especially. Like, they need to see their dad being the leader of our family. So, yeah, I definitely agree. I don't think that you should just not tell us where we should quote unquote go. Yeah, I agree with that one.
A submissive wife should remember that women were not created to do things a man can do, but to do the things a man can't do. Her role is to complement him, not compete with him.
I agree with that too. I don't feel like I'm in competition with you. I feel like we are working together. Like, no. Yeah, I agree with that.
So how would that work? How would that work in a household where the woman's like, I can do everything you can do?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I guess it just matters how you say things. Like, if you're saying, I don't know. Like, if you're saying, I can do dishes just like you can do dishes, yeah, that's fine. Or if you're just trying to, like, hit below the belt and say, oh, you can do that, I can do that too, I feel like that's not right.
Okay. Ooh, I like this one. Don't allow cleaning of your home to get out of hand and become a problem. The easiest way to tackle cleaning is to have a daily, weekly, and monthly schedule. Pin your schedule up and follow it each day. If you are having trouble sticking to the plan, ask your husband to hold you accountable. Now, I like that. I like that one. I like that one.
Pin your schedule and ask your husband to help you with your schedule. Now, we're gonna do this together. I'm not gonna say, oh, I'm having trouble getting all of my cleaning done, so I should just be a good wife and pin my schedule up on the clipboard, and if I do that, then guess what? I'll be able to get all my chores done all by myself because I'm a submissive wife. Yeah. No.
I think this is 100% right.
I think that 100% is wrong. I think that 100% just says, I can do it all alone because I know why. That's what I'm supposed to do. No. Husband, you see your wife needs help. Help. Period.
All right. If you want a husband that will show you respect, you have to be a woman worthy of his respect. Be humble, be kind, be modest, and always be on his side. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yes.
In the middle with that one. Not 100% yes, not 100% no. Yes, be humble. Don't be haughty. Be kind. Absolutely. Don't be a mean wife. What else did it say? Be humble, be kind, be on his side always.
Modest and always be on his side.
Be modest. Yeah, I mean, don't be going out there with your stripper clothes on out into the world. And always be on his side. Yeah, be on his side, but you have to also be a good enough wife to tell him if you think that he's not right.
All right. Financial pressures mean more wives have to work, and partners have to share household chores and responsibilities. But this does not stop you from being a submissive wife. You can still submit to your husband's will. What part of that don't you like?
Submit to your husband's will. Oh, okay. So if we say that, how would you define that? How would you define submit to your husband's will?
Do what I say.
And do you agree with it?
Yes, do what I say. No sass, no back talk. Yes, I love it. This is the best account. Everybody go follow How to Be a Submissive Wife if you want to win.
Yeah. That's on Patrick's Instagram account. I don't follow that one. I don't follow Submissive Wife.
Well, submit to the will. Yeah.
Well, you will have fun trying to get me to submit to the will.
Oh. All right. A submissive wife needs to understand that her period is no excuse for snappy moods and disrespect. It is not your husband's fault you feel unwell, and it will not make you feel any better if you shout at him or get into an angry mood with him. Try to control your attitude and tongue during that time of the month. That's
just a stupid one. Why did she even post that?
This is phenomenal.
That's just real stupid.
This is phenomenal. Why? What you got to say about that?
Because, first of all, I've never used my period as a reason for why I'm being snappy.
You don't. I'm talking about in general.
I don't think anyone just says, oh, my period's on, so that's why I'm being mad. No, if I'm being snappy because I got something to snap about. No, I'm not going to ever that's just me. I am not going to use my period as an excuse for being snappy. I think that is so freaking chauvinistic for any man to even read that on the freaking podcast.
Mm-hmm.
Man.
When your husband comes home from work, give him time to unwind before you dump your day on him. He will want to hear all about your day, but not the minute he walks through the door. Save your conversation for the dinner table.
First of all, who eats at the dinner table?
That's the problem these days.
Freaking clearly submissive wife is a traditionalist. We don't eat at the dinner table. And when I come in, if I got something to say, I'm going to say it. I'm not going to sit there and be like, let me assess my husband. Let me look at him. Let me, it's now a good time. Can I tell him this? Wait. I think that it is 7:32 and that'll be a good time to tell my husband about my day. No. First of all, if I got to do all of that and be on pins and needles to tell you about my day, I don't want you to hear about my day. Nope. Wrong.
He's going to dump it on him as soon as you walk in the door.
If I got something to dump.
Oh my goodness. And we've talked about that before. I'm like, because you've hit me like, I've come in the door. I'm like, I haven't even transitioned yet. You just came and said, this, at your old job, this person at work, blah, 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 boom, 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 boom. And I was like, I just walked in the door. I haven't even sat down, put stuff down yet.
No, that's false. Because either you will say, oh, what's wrong with you? Or you'll say, how was your day? Right?
Yeah, but sometimes it's not necessarily me coming in. You just hit me. Like, I just sat down, like, we just put the kids to bed. And I need that. I was like, I need, like, give me my 5 minutes. Give me my 5 minutes. You'll just go hit me, like, right then and there. Bam! I'm like, because I get snappy, because I'm like, you give me no time to process nothing. You just hit me with it.
But you do the same thing.
No, I do not.
You do.
No, I do not.
I just don't make a big deal.
It says submissive wife, not submissive husband.
Submissive wife account sucks.
No. Mm-mm. Oh, I really like this one. So, when a submissive wife disagrees with one of her husband's decisions, it is okay to let him know she has a different opinion and share her thoughts with him. But she must remember that his word after he has listened to her argument is the final word. He is the head of the house. I don't see what's so funny.
I think that's ridiculous. If that's the thought behind it, then why did you even tell him your opinion? Because
he'll make the best decision after he hears your argument, but his word is final.
No. Nope. Don't even freaking tell him. If you feel that way, if you feel like, I'm going to tell him my idea, and then I'm going to let him make the final decision, why even tell him your idea?
Because he might not have had that perspective. He hears it, but it's at the end of the day, he has to make the decision, but you provide your input. If you disagree, you have to say something and let your, yeah. It's not 100% submissive. That's like 98% submissive.
Well.
And what is bad about that?
I think that's stupid. That is so stupid. Yes, I think that y'all should lay out the different options and then the two of you make a decision on what the best option is for your family. Not just the husband.
You got your input. If you disagree, tell me what you think. But ultimately, I make the final choice. I think that's perfectly fine.
Absolutely not.
All right, fine. Jeez. All right, so this is a good one. Before a wife can become a submissive wife, she has to have a husband worthy of her submission. Marriage is not all about the wife giving and the husband taking. It is a partnership. You gonna argue with that one?
Amen. Amen. Submissive wife, you have finally woke up, honey. Amen.
So
all of your other ones, you need to refer back to this one. Refer back to this one.
So if the husband is worthy of submission, you gonna do all the other stuff she said?
No. No. Read it again.
Before a wife can become a submissive wife, she has to have a husband worthy of her submission.
Keep going.
Marriage is not all about the wife giving and the husband taking. It is a partnership.
Bam. That's the part. Yeah, that's the part.
Yeah. So the husband has
all the other stuff that she said some of it was contradictory to that.
No.
Yeah.
Worthy of submission.
No.
It says it in the Bible.
Part. That's the first part. Second part. Read that part. That's the part. Thank you.
Partnership.
You
still got to submit. Just because it's a partnership, there still has to be submission.
Submission.
What is the problem? Word. What is the problem with the word submission?
Because it sounds like I'm up here and you're down here.
Husband's head of the household, right?
Head of the household.
Okay, so get this. I submit to Christ.
Yeah, we all do.
Okay. So I have no problem submitting to Christ.
But husband is not equivalent to Christ.
What's the head of the household?
The head of the household is a figurehead. You know how sometimes in businesses you got
okay.
You got the person that they're the figurehead. But then there's somebody else who behind the scenes.
So you want to? So I'm
having an influence on the figurehead.
So the husband's the figurehead, but the wife is the actual one controlling the thing.
I didn't say controlling. Some strong words you're using.
Submit.
So can having some influence on the figurehead.
Okay.
Yeah. So
you want to be the one controlling it?
No, I didn't say that either. I said having influence on.
Now, do you think women is like, as far as like feminine energy, that y'all do want to be controlling? Y'all want to control?
I mean, we like to have some control over some things. Absolutely. Absolutely. Mm-hmm. And some things should be in our control.
And men, we can be more passive. But the women, they want to control. If you can't control everything, like when stuff gets out of control, you lose your mind.
Yeah. But if we aren't the ones who are wrapping it up and making it run and go efficiently, then it would be complete and utter chaos.
Well, what about our leadership? You don't trust us to lead.
That's not true.
Okay.
That is not true.
So am I worthy of your submission, sweetie?
You're worthy of my submission.
But you ain't got to submit. But
however, my definition of submission might be and is definitely totally different from submissive wife's definition of submission.
What's your definition of submission, sweetie?
I will be respectful to you, and I will love you, and I will honor you, and I will value your input, and you will value my input, and I will give my input, and I will have influence on you and your decisions.
That's what submission means?
Yes.
Okay.
That's my definition.
Okay. So that
I am not below you as far as my opinions have less value. Like your opinions get 75% weight and mine get 25%. No. I'm not below you. You're not better than me.
Will you submit to me?
In my definition. In my definition, I will submit to you.
So if I just change my definition of submission to Talisha gonna do whatever the heck she want, that would be submission. Oh, if you mean by submit that she's going to do whatever the heck she wants to do regardless of what I say, yeah, that's submitting.
No, I value your opinion and I value your input. And we come together as a team to make a informed decision.
Mm-hmm.
And both of us get to come to the table with whole dollars.
So is there ever a time that you need to be put in your place?
Depends on how you say it. Don't tell me that I'm being put in my place, because then I'm going to butt back.
Has there ever been a time where...
Not.
Has ever been a situation where I'm like, go sit down.
No.
Freaking be quiet.
No. That ain't happening. No.
I've never had to reel you in before. So there never was a time where our dog had a stroke in the middle of the night and you were acting hysterical and you were running out the house and going to all our neighbors and knocking on their doors to try to get help from the dog. I've never had to reel you back in and tell you to get your stuff together. Okay. Sit down, shut up, get the dog. We got to get him to the hospital right now. Get back in this house like right now. I've never had to do that.
That was in a crisis situation.
Exactly. So in the crisis situations, you need the husband. Yes, you have to have the husband get his wife from acting all hysterical and crazy, and they need to be put in their place so that we can move forward.
Yeah, you did that for that situation.
And are you thankful?
I am thankful because we were able to take our dog and get her the help that she needed at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So you need my leadership in the really important situations when it's like life or death.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So you had to submit.
Yes, to that cause.
Mm-hmm. So it's important. So submission is important.
Submission is important, but suppression is not.
Right.
And I think that in regards to many women today, we were suppressed as a group for a very long time, just like Black people were suppressed as a group for a very long time. And I think because we see what happened to our predecessors and we don't want that for ourselves, I think that there's nothing wrong with women saying like, let's maybe use a different word than submissive, because that connotation goes back to the suppression that existed. Because
like men abuse that.
They abuse that. They think that they're the ones who need to be in power. That's why to this day, men still make more money than women in the same position. Mm-hmm. It's because of that suppression. And I think whenever people can have their thumb on you, then they can have an upper hand toward you. Yeah.
So in marriage, is the husband trying to put his thumb on you? Am I trying to put my thumb on you?
It depends if you're trying to put your thumb on me or not. It depends on how are you wanting your wife to submit to you? Are you wanting them to just be a pretty face and you get to make all the decisions and they just have to be a yes, a massa to you? If that's the case, then you got the wrong definition of submission. Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Okay.
It's not suppression.
But did you appreciate when I had to take over?
I absolutely appreciated
and
that.
You loved it, didn't you? You
loved
absolutely
it.
loved it.
I loved it.
Oh my God, thank you. That was
because I was not being level-headed, and I did appreciate it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Absolutely. And trust my leadership, and that I'm going to lead us to the promised land. And stop that back talk.
You're going to lead us to the promised land.
And stop that back talk.
And I will not stop that talk.
Stop that sass.
I will not.
All that sass.
See, even the word sass, that's got a connotation. Why do women got to be sassy? Would you ever characterize a man as sassy?
Absolutely not.
Okay. So don't freaking say that's sass.
That patriarchal society.
It's bullcrap.
It's bullcrap. All right, so let's go to the opposite end of the spectrum where you have the husbands with no nuts.
Okay.
Those cats who just get totally ran by their wives and they have like zero say so and zero decision. I'm thinking about like that Fresh Prince of Bel-Air episode where Will had went on a date. I think the actress was Vivica Fox, and she went out there and they were at a restaurant and she was like, "You're not about to order anything. My husband's not about to die of a heart attack. You're going to eat this, you're going to eat that." And Will was just looking into the camera like, "Oh my gosh, what did I get myself into?"
Yeah.
And we see their husbands out there who just, they're very submissive to their wife. Mm-hmm. And they just, I'm like, dude, we're just soul. Like, do you make any decisions?
Yeah, that would be hard too. I don't know how does it get there? Like, does it start there or does it evolve to that?
I don't know. I guess like the wife is super like, I don't know, but it can't be me.
Yeah, I don't know if it can be me either. Like, I'm not about to submit so much. But I also don't want you to submit so much. Like, I want it to be a team. Like, we need to be a team. That wouldn't do it for me.
Like, they make all the decisions.
Yeah. No, I need collaboration.
Yeah. And I just have I don't have a lot of respect for those dudes. I'm like, why am I asking you? I might as well just go ask the wife.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you can go hang out. Because you can't tell us yes or no. The boy, you can't say nothing. Like, the wife has all the masculine energy in that relationship, and you have taken the feminine energy in that relationship. I don't see how those relationships work. Eventually, like, the male has to come out and do something.
And then if you do that example that you just gave, then I'm sure like your friends are gonna talk trash about you.
Oh, we own you.
Yeah,
we own you.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm like. I joke about it, like when my friends ask me to go out, I'll be like, wait, let me go get my permission slip. But I'll be like, baby, I'm going out and I'm about to eat a whole bunch of red meat. And I don't know, and I ain't telling you when I'm coming back. And then I walk out the door.
That's exactly how
I give up the illusion that I need a permission slip. I don't be asking you nothing. I just be like, I don't know when I'm get back. I'll get back when I get back. And then you be like, yes, sir. And that's how I go down.
In your head. That's exactly how it goes down. In your head.
No, that's the reality.
Oh, okay.
And if it's not, it's about to be some changes up in this relationship.
Listeners.
You dig?
Oh, listeners. I know that by this episode, you all know good and goddamn well that ain't how it goes.
You think you run it. You think you run it.
I don't think I run it. I think that I am part of a team.
Yeah.
What have we been saying this whole time? We are a team. We are a team. We do things together. We think about things together.
I'm Michael Jackson. You Tito.
No, sir. We're co-hosts.
No, you think you're Joe.
Oh, I think I'm Joe.
You think you're Joe Jackson. That's who you think he is.
I think I rang you.
Yeah, you think you're Joe Jackson.
Okay. We'll get to dancing, Michael. Get to dancing and singing.
So another issue where like this can come up is when the husband thinks he's doing too much or the wife thinks that she's doing too much and that marriage feels way one-sided. Like, I have to do everything, and you're doing nothing. Mm-hmm. That dynamic comes up, and I bet that can cause a whole bunch of problems.
Oh my gosh. Like, we don't really have that dynamic for sure, but whenever, like, if I feel like I'm cleaning up and he's not, I think we talked about this earlier, like, I'm angry cleaning out. Yeah. I'm looking at you, and I am glaring at you while I'm scrubbing these pots. Like, that, yeah, I could see if that was legit their dynamic. Mm-hmm. Oh my gosh, whoever the person is that feels like they're doing too much, and maybe they are doing too much. Yeah, maybe it's not just they feel like they're doing. Maybe they really are doing too much. They probably are pissed.
It's gonna lead to that resentment It's like, man, I resent my husband. I resent my wife. Like, every time they don't do something, you have to pick up their slack, or you haven't discussed like the roles in your marriage. Like, I think gender roles, they must be discussed.
They must be discussed. And on top of that, even if you have the gender, like the not the gender roles, but even if you have the
it's gender roles. That's some of that stuff be women's work.
Nah, no, sir. Even if you have things delegated and it's like, okay, I'm going to take care of this and you're going to take care of this, you can still help each other out.
Yeah.
Like, there's no problem. You can still help each other out.
And at the same time, some of them, like you're better at doing. Sometimes I clean some stuff. You be like, this ain't completely clean. Like, my definition of a clean dish is not the same as your definition of a clean dish.
Right.
Like, if my dishes were like rated as a restaurant, I'd probably have a B restaurant.
Yeah.
You looking at me like it's about to be a C restaurant.
Be a C, dog. But I just take those dishes and I just rewash them because it was the thought that counted. You were trying to help me. Like, it's just different whenever you see your partner needs help and you recognize the need and you try to fulfill it. Like, nobody's gonna. I mean,
sometimes the partner will critique your grass cutting skills. Like, if you are if your grass is like natural, like if you're a vertical person or you're a horizontal person, like cutting the lines in the grass, your wife might come up and say, "Hey, have you ever tried diagonal?" I'm like, I'm not well versed in the diagonal way of cutting grass, ma'am.
Well,
do you have something in mind?
Beautiful.
Do you want to come out here and show me how to do it?
Nah, I just can tell you. But then you did it, you took pride in it. It was very pretty.
And now I do the diagonal way
of
cutting
our yard.
It
was easier.
It is. It takes a little time off the yard work.
See? Look at that.
Yeah, so that helped.
It's just a suggestion.
Yeah. Or I think you pointed out to someone else's yard or something like that. I don't know.
No.
You see these diagonal lines? That's what I want my yard to look like.
I did not say that. You are such a liar.
Mm.
Come on.
Yep.
Anyways, like I said, even if you have the things delegated to where this person does this, you can always still lend a helping hand when you see that your partner needs help.
Yeah. But gender roles need to be discussed up front. Because they come from your parents. Like, we don't the only way we learn how to be a husband or we learn how to be a wife, we just usually take the example from what our parents did.
Right.
And that's how you pretty much learn how to do what you do. Oh, my dad did it this way, or my mom did it this way. My mom handled all the chores, or they were like a partnership together. But some roles are I think some roles are inherently easier for certain genders. Like, it might be easier for the man to do the outside work. It might be easier for the wife, especially probably watching them children, unless your wife is crazy. What? And she's not really patient with the children or anything.
Oh.
But I think.
I thought you were talking about me. I was like,
no, I'm just but in general, what I say is like, oh yeah, y'all are way better at handling the young children than I am. And then when they get older, it's easier for the dad. But at the beginning,
yeah, because mothers are naturally nurturing.
Yes.
And when there's a little baby that can't do anything, you definitely need someone that's gonna be nurturing. Not like, hey, I had a little baby, get up, change your diaper. And
then sometimes when y'all leave them to the men to watch, and we're a little hands off, y'all be freaking out.
Yeah, because you need to be right there.
I watch your children from a distance.
Yeah, when they're older, that's fine, but when they're little, you gotta be a little more hands on.
And that's why, all right, well, you handle that role then.
But they don't give you a pass to not watch your kids.
I'll be watching the kids from a distance.
Nah.
I can watch them from the other room.
No, that's whenever it comes into play where we are a team, and then your teammate might have to tell you how you can do it a little better to give you tips for improvement.
To hold them accountable.
Yeah. Hold them accountable. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. So at the end of the day, what works for our relationship is that we work as a team. It's not you do this. Well, we have our roles, but we still work as a team, and we know each other's roles where either one of us can step in. Like if I go out of town or something, you have no problem like picking up where I left off out of town or whatever, and vice versa. It's like there's nothing I can't do. It's like, all right, I can even do your laundry, even though I don't know where your clothes go in the drawers or whatever. I'll fold them and then let you leave them out for the week anyway. But I'll have them folded for you.
Right. Or if you go out of town and like the grass needs to be cut real bad, like I'll just pay somebody to do it.
Yeah, you're not cutting the grass, but we know each other's roles. We communicated. You just look around the house. What the heck needs to be done?
Right.
Like I am the vacuumer. I love our rainbow vacuum. I am the vacuumer of the house. I love the vacuum.
Yeah, you do.
Nah, I'm on my vacuum job, dog. So, and I haven't cooked since forever because that's not. We got a new air fryer, and I am lighting them wings up on the air fryer.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah. But at the end of the day, you got to work as a team, y'all. The traditional. Well, you do what works for y'all.
Yeah. I mean, if traditional gender roles work for y'all, then that's what works for y'all.
Yeah, you do what works for yeah. And if it's the new way where you both put in,
yep.
I personally think that's more sustainable.
Yeah, that's a lot more sustainable.
Because you both want to grow. You don't want to be stuck in some like typical role. You're like, oh, I'm stuck. It's just like having a job. Like, you want to do that job for the rest of your life, the same role forever, or do you want to like evolve and do better, have better stuff,
right,
and grow?
Yeah,
I think that's what it works for us, and that's what makes us grow together, and that's how we evolve. So I just sniffed into the microphone.
Yeah, you did.
We're gonna end it on there. Catch you guys next week.
Thank you for listening to On the Up and Up with Patrick and Talisha. For access to all of our episodes, please subscribe to our podcast on iTunes, Google Play, Spotify, and wherever you listen to our show. Leave us a 5-star rating and review on iTunes, and we will give you a shout out on our next episode. Stay connected with us on Twitter and Instagram at I am Pat Ratliff and at the Farm D Mommy. Thanks again for listening, and we will see you next week. God bless.